already know what it is, man. It's your favorite blurred click, ready to talk blurred shit on a Saturday morning. But you can watch this anytime. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitch, YouTubes, the Facebooks, even the X's or whatever that is they call it. And also anybody listening on the Spotify's, the Apple Musics, the iHearts, and all of that good stuff. Appreciate you. Yeah, boy. We talking gorillas and men this morning. We talking Thunderbolts and Andors, and maybe even talking a little bit of Silver Surfer. And we might even have a special guest, so don't go too far. But oh yeah, y'all see it. Yes, you see it. Bucky back. Yeah, man. The whole crew is back. Yelena, Red Guardian, Sentry. All these folks just pulled up for some brand new Marvel projects. So you know we got to talk about it because that's what we do, baby. So don't go too far. Let's go ahead and get into it. Did you see it? I hope so, because that's what we leading with. But in addition to that, I also had an opportunity to talk with one of the members of the Supercell cast, and you know that they talking about Supercell 2. Ow! So let's go ahead and get into it. But we also did see The Last of Us had another episode, this time without Joe. But Joe... So we're going to chat on that a little bit. And yeah, Andor's popping, but I don't think everybody's really paying that much attention to it yet. So we're going to talk about that, Thunderbolts, and I may or may not have a special guest. One of these people, I'm going to let you guess which one, may be on this panel this morning. We don't know who it is. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get this thing started. It's the new Blurred Order, baby. Tell them who it is, Thugnificent.
This is Thugnificent telling everybody to tune in to New Blurred Order, my nigga. The best podcast on the planet Earth, nigga. This is Thugnificent telling everybody to
tune in, motherfucker, because that's what we doing right now. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to everybody watching. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Let's go ahead and get right on to it. Who's there in the comics? What's good, Linda? What's good, Leo? What's good, Run Well, Be Well? What's good, New Blurred Order? Hey, oh, that's us. What's good, Run Well, Be Well? What's happening, y'all? Each day, it's my girl, Harmony. What's going on? What's good, Markeisha? What's good, Lisa? What's good? Oh, I ain't got time to sit here and say what's up to everybody. What's good, Lorena? Hey, listen, if you in the comments, shout out to you. We is outside right now. Yes, I am happy to be here. What's going on? It is your boy, the real Biz Taylor, reporting live from the Black Panther Cave, and I am joined live by none other than the one and only Yazzie. What's going on, Yazzie? Yazzie's in the building. We got Bad Ty in the bird. What's going on, Bad Ty? We got the one and only movie blogger in the bit. What's going on, Mr. Anthony with the background? And hello, hallelujah. We do got one of these dudes. Which one you think it is? I don't know. Red team go. Red team go. Is it the one and only guy who's everywhere about anything Marvel, who reads every comic book in the world and can tell everybody, you don't read comics? Oh, yes, you guessed it. It's the one and only Mr. Comic Geek, the Black Gay Comic Geek. Michael Lamar, what's going on, yours?
How's it going? You gassing me up a little bit. I don't know about every comic in the world.
I mean, every comic, yes.
Then next thing you know, I come on here, I'm like, wait, I forgot this. Or they're like, oh, fake.
No, every comic, sir. We know it. And you read the comics in real life. So we ain't even going to sit here and play around. Let's go ahead and get right on to it. Thank you all for tuning in. Today, we are hyper-focused on the newness of Thunderbolts, which did just get released this week. I'm going to go ahead and take this down. Hands up for those who have seen it already. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Oh, no.
I'm left out. It's okay.
Oh, that's one thing. Nah, it's all good. Go ahead, tell them what you told me. Go ahead. Let them know. Yeah, tell them the same thing you told me. What you didn't see Thunderbolts, but
no salt, no shade, all love, Vince. I didn't see Thunderbolts, but I did see Sinners when I was supposed to.
Oh, it's like that, huh? Okay. We started shit this morning. See, Michael. Evidently, I lost a part of my blackness when I wasn't able to see Sinners on opening night or for the first few nights. And so as a result, I've gone from like dark chocolate to like light Nestle. You know what I'm saying? Like I've lost a part of like my, I don't know, Afrocentricity. And it don't make it no better.
You're
that I
definitely an
went and saw
octoroon
Thunderbolts.
like Haley Steinfeld's character. Definitely, yeah. You want a black.
I'm an 8 black now. I just got demoted to 1 8 black.
You the coffee with all creamer. There ain't no coffee left in there.
Yo, yeah. I mean, come on now. Why I gotta be like that, man? You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, here's the thing. I wanted to see it, but bro, circumstances. Look, it's not the first time I've been called out for not being able to see a movie when I wanted to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes sometimes. But nevertheless, we were able to see it this week. And quick, I just would like to go through and get our quick opinions. I'm gonna pull this down one more time. I'm gonna put the video up. Actually, let's go ahead and put the video up, and let's see if we can take this video down. When I take it down, I want thumbs up or thumbs down, fellas. Thumbs up or thumbs down, fellas. Let me know how you felt about it. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, damn. All right, that was all right. Wait, 3, 2, 1. Whoa. That's a mid. I see a mid-level. Yes. I see a mid thumb. It's like it's in there somewhere. I see all thumbs up. Damn, my thumb looks real, man. Why my thumb look so ugly? Is my thumb? Is that supposed to be like that?
It's like that. Like
damn, bro.
You're not trying to do that?
That's not how y'all thumbs ain't like that?
No.
No, you clearly double jointed or something.
Yeah, for real.
Spaghetti fingers. Spaghetti fingers.
That's not normal.
Yeah, I'm like, is it broken?
Off the screen.
Hold on, do that again. See, y'all thumbs don't go like this?
No.
Oh, nah, bro.
Oh God! When you put it in that angle, wait, can we get a close up?
I think I got a pretty normal thumb. Like,
I think mine's normal too. I ain't
that's not normal, bro.
Somebody's coming in with the gas.
Your thumb at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Oh my.
Don't you start this early, Harmony, man. Ain't nobody got time for all that, man.
Oh, that's
All right. Well, yeah. What are you talking about, Tiff? I mean, Lisa, this is completely normal. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but y'all thumbs need.
You got normal thumbs.
I don't got enough aerodynamic.
I can't even try and do that. Like, this is hard.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess if somebody ever lock you up in handcuffs, you could get out.
See, hallelujah. Tighten that up. Know what I'm saying? So just so y'all know, this is how a thumb supposed to be. All right, it's supposed to be like this. So anybody thumb go straight up, like you got to go see the doctor because
anybody who needs to go southeast, holla at Vince. It's right that way. Just go that way.
I ain't had no problem. They call it a hitchhiker's thumb. You know what I'm saying? It's a hitchhiker's thumb. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I be out there, I ain't got no problems getting from state to state. Goddamn. Yeah.
I'm definitely not letting you in my car.
You know something? Yeah, it's called a hitchhiker thumb. So there's a term for it.
No, and she said it's called a hitchhiker's dumb. She said a hitchhiker's dumb. That's what she said. It's called a hitchhiker's dumb. Wow, yes, that makes sense. That makes sense, Harmony, because that shit's dumb. That shit is dumb. Your fingers are dumb. You have dumb fingers.
Thumb is not a finger, technically, though.
A thumb's not a finger. It's not.
So, Thunderbolts. Y'all go sit here. It went from me having just a thumb to me having a hitchhiker's thumb. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about what it is that I love. All right. Well, let me just say this. Let's start with Anthony because I saw Anthony. You had evidently not necessarily mixed feelings, but it looked like maybe you didn't necessarily feel it the way everybody else maybe felt it. I don't know. What say you, Anthony?
Well, this depends on how we talking about it. We talking spoiler conversation? We talking non-spoiler conversation? Because
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. So let's go ahead and preface this like this. So on the docket today, everybody, while we have our special guest along with us, we're going to go ahead and discuss the following topics, hopefully. All right. We would like to discuss Thunderbolts. We will spoil just a little bit. So if you want to step away, come back, whatever, mute us, whatever. But, we're going to get into the deep spoilers. Okay. Then we'll get into maybe a little bit of just talking to you can't spoil what's going on with Michael Lamar and everything that's cool in his life. Tiny bit of Andor, little quick clip from Supercell. And then maybe if we have time, we can definitely delve. You know what? We're going to flip the Andor and the Last of Us thing around because I think Last of Us is a little more prevalent. So having said that, we're going to go ahead and get into our spoilers for the Thunderbolts And since we are spoiling, don't hesitate, Anthony, to let your feelings be heard, fam. Okay, so go ahead, guys. You've been officially warned. Spill the beans, fam.
I liked it overall. I did like it overall. I think it was probably Marvel's best put together movie in a while. I did have issues with it though, right? But let me start with what I think was good about it. Like, I thought the Sentry was great. I thought everything with the Sentry was fire. I thought his introduction, his costume, his energy, his aura, the way he handled himself, as well as Louis Pullman's performance in showing that he's a fragile man. Mentally, he's unstable. At any point, he could slip into a mind state of darkness, and that manifests itself in the void. So I love the way that they handled the character and the adaptation from the comics, because this is the Bob that I wanted to see. It doesn't have his full origin. He's not, it's not like that. Of course, they MCU it out, but overall, I think they really nailed the character. Another thing that I really liked was that Bucky was a big part of this movie. I think he had a really cool introduction into the movie. I think he had a sense of grounding to at least make it seem familiar for me, from coming in from the old MCU into where we're headed now. I really like that. What I didn't like though was what they did to the Taskmaster. Now, I'm not sitting here caping for Taskmaster. The Taskmaster wasn't my favorite character when she was introduced in Black Widow, but I thought that her character could have been used better. Like, her character is straight up wasted in this movie. Like, what could have been a rallying call, kind of like what Agent Coulson was to the original Avengers. Yeah. This death could have been to the Thunderbolts. And because they didn't do that, I think it was a huge wasted opportunity and a misuse of the character. Yeah. But overall, yeah, I like this movie. I did enjoy it. It didn't have the consequence that I hoped that it would. As soon as you felt like danger was coming, they pulled that shit right back and undid everything. Yeah. And where the fuck is Spider-Man? Like, where the hell are the other New York superhero? Like, he saw this and just turned around and went home. Like, where was Spider-Man? I hope in another movie or in a series, whatever they do, they at least show this man was like saving lives, you know, stopping rubble from falling on strollers, that kind of stuff. Like, if he saw the void and said no, you know, then at least go save some lives. I hope that's what happened to him. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, fair. All good points. Let's go ahead and go to Michael Lamar next. So, Mr. Lamar, what say you about the movie? Do you agree with Ant? Does he have points, or was it just good all around, and we're not seeing the beauty of this art form that you got here?
Not you giving out my full government.
Michael Lamar.
Am I in trouble? Michael Lamar, come down there. But I really enjoyed the movie. So I have two minds of the movie. As a movie in and of itself, with Thunderbolts, I really enjoyed it. Like, I love the chemistry between all of these characters: Yelena, Red Guardian, Bucky, John Walker, U.S. Agent. Like, and this movie actually made me like U.S. Agent more. He's still an asshole, but in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was like, oh, this nigga, like, kill his ass. Like, I don't like him. It's like, but in this one, I was like, okay, like, he's coming around. And a lot of that has to do with like Wyatt Russell's performance. But this movie also like fully solidified Yelena Belova, played beautifully by Florence Pugh, being one of my favorite new characters that they introduced in the MCU. And she was definitely the heart of this movie. And it made me wish, and this is a small criticism, but it made me wish, because this movie was really about, again, spoilers, but she was grieving like the loss of her sister, and she felt depressed and everything like that. I wish that we got to see more time with her and Natasha and a buildup of that. So just like the characters mourning, we're also mourning that relationship, because we only really saw it just the one time. So yeah, we're still mourning Natasha because we got to see her in multiple movies, but we're not necessarily mourning the relationship between Yelena and Natasha. But I still felt it but I wish I got to feel it more. So that's one small criticism. But I like the action sequence, like the moment Bucky showed up on the motorcycle, like it felt very Terminator-esque. Like you see it right there, like it felt like the Terminator, and I really enjoyed it. And I love Bob. I want to see more Bob. And I thought Louis Pullman did a really good job. And so and then funny enough, like as I was watching this movie, I was like, is this a prequel or connected movie to the Kingdom Hearts universe? I don't know if you guys ever played Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah.
But when Bob turns into the void, he looks like a Heartless.
Yeah.
Same eyes and everything. So I'm just like, the way they could have solved this movie was calling Sora, and it's Disney. Disney connected.
You can't cross-pollinate, man. Nah, man. I know it's Disney.
That's the whole point of Kingdom Hearts.
That's the whole point, yeah.
You may as well find the one ring to rule them all, to keep anything from happening. Like, come on, man.
It's not the same thing. It's literally Disney. It's literally Disney. Yeah,
fair.
Okay.
Yeah, the Keyblade.
To go back to my other part, because like I mentioned, I have two minds of it. Like as a movie in and of itself, I really enjoyed it. It's one of the best Marvel movies since Guardians 3, because Guardians 3 I really enjoyed. But in terms of like a universe crafting of it, I have big problems with the framing of the movie, because it almost feels like this movie should have happened in Phase 4. Because in many ways, it feels like they're building up the universe again after Endgame. Like we're just getting this cast of new Avengers. Then they reference in the post-credit scene that Sam Wilson is setting his Avengers. But when are we going to get a conclusion or a storyline development of that? Because after this movie, it's Fantastic Four, and then we're not getting another movie until Doomsday. So like... What are we doing? Like, it feels like the universe is just starting, but it's really coming towards the end. Like, we're coming towards the conclusion of phases 5 and 6, but like, it doesn't feel like Infinity War and Endgame in the sense that like we're now toning down and coming to a conclusion of the universe. Like, why are we still introducing new characters and new concepts? We still haven't seen Shang-Chi. We still haven't seen the conclusion to the Shang-Chi post-credit scene. Kate Bishop is nosy as hell. All that shit happened in New York. You don't think she would pull up? Same thing with Spider-Man. Daredevil, Kingpin is the mayor of New York right now. What the hell is going on with him? And Daredevil, etc. Like, I just feel like we shouldn't be still building up like there's still so much story to tell with the way this movie ended. But yet, like I said, it's Fantastic Four and then it's Doomsday. And then after Doomsday, it's Spider-Man Brave New World, and then it's Secret Wars. Where the fuck is Doctor Strange? Like, we saw the post-credit scene with the incursions, dealing with that. Like, what? It's just a lot. So when you think about it from that standpoint, it's like it's kind of it's flawed. Not the movie, but the crafting of the MCU and the universe and what they're trying to tell with this movie. It's like it's flawed. It's very flawed.
Michael, you don't think that if they brought in Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, you don't think that they start losing like the Thunderbolts? Like, you're gonna water down?
Don't even have them be a full cameo. Show them on a TV screen somewhere, like a news prompter or something, like showing that they're out there saving people. So that we won't have this. Where's Spider-Man? Where's at least show like
I see.
And it doesn't even, you don't even have to cast him, because people are like, oh well, if you cast Tom, you got to pay him a whole bunch of money. Don't cast, just show Spider-Man or show like a silhouette, a web or whatever. Like,
okay.
Or right. To your point, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off. To your point, though, I mean, Mayor Fisk right now is like all anti-vigilante. So, I mean, showing him on the television, like, we need to end the vigilantes in New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like, him showing Spider-Man and, you know what I'm saying, like, continue it on with, all the different, like Punisher and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would actually be smart, like, to my credit, because it's not a full cameo, but it's at least, like, it's out of our mind now. We're like, oh, hey, we know that they're in the city with, you know what I'm saying, with Kingpin and fucking Spider-Man and shit. And Daredevil's around.
a news broadcast or something like him on the dude like, see, this the shit I was talking about. Look at this motherfucker avoid taking shit out. Like, this is why I'm doing the anti-vigilante for Vanessa. Like
or Jameson. Yeah, or Jameson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, Comic Geek, hey, how Kingpin said it? How he said it?
For Vanessa.
This is exactly why.
When I was a boy.
My father wasn't a very nice man. Yeah, I can see that, man. All right, well, and what say you, homeboy? Excuse me, Ty. What say you, homeboy? You had an opportunity to see it as well, and I'm sure you have an opinion. What are you in agreement with, Ant? Are you in agreement with? I don't even know what to call you no more. Michael Black Geek.
Michael. My first name is Michael.
Anyway. Michael.
Yeah.
Michael.
Is it that hard?
It's
Michael. Okay, that's better. All right, I got it. Go ahead, Ty.
I mean, I don't know if there's much I can add. They pretty much, summed up a lot of the same issues that I had. I definitely think that the Taskmaster killing was premature. It was a misusage of the character. And I, I'm not a huge Taskmaster fan, but I feel like Taskmaster is a legitimate foe, and just a bullet. If a bullet to the head was gonna be the way that a person could go, like I feel like a lot of these superheroes, their shelf life would have been a lot less than, it just seemed rather peculiar that one would die so easily. But anyway, I also, one of my biggest problems with Marvel, and continues to be my biggest problem with Marvel, is Marvel's lack of commitment to villainry. Whenever it comes to so-called villains that we have as the opposition in these movies, it's always like an anti-villain. It's like it's never that full. It's I'm doing this for to save the world, or save I'm doing this because I want to make it a better place. It's always that. I just want a villain that's coming through fucking up shit because they like fucking up shit. Like I don't want them to have no backstory of I'm dealing with mental issues or any of. I want a villain that came through to fuck shit up because that's what villains do. And every time I see a villain that has all of these issues, all of this stuff like this, Eccentric, as much as I love that character in the comic book, it's not like this character in the movie. Why? Because I'm looking at Eccentric.
Yo. Why I only hear every other time? Is it just me?
No, I can't. His audio's going in. Your audio's going in and out.
Yeah, I was hearing like every other word as if.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Hey, I heard you clear now, man.
It wasn't for the majority of it.
It wasn't everything. Just the last couple sentences, like when you was going in the Sentry. So just start at Sentry and go.
And go. So with Sentry in the movie, as I'm watching this movie, I don't know if you guys remember, because I'm a little older, but there was a movie called Superman 4. In that movie, the antagonist was one nuclear man.
Yeah.
And when you look at, if you ever watch that movie and then you see this movie, Thunderbolts, and you look at the Sentry, he is a bona fide nuclear man. Like, and I like down to the costume, down to the colors that he garbs, everything, like it down to the powers. Like the nuclear man's power was based on the sun. It was literally the same type of power. But I feel like with Sentry would have been better in an Avengers movie. Why? Because you can't really garner the level of power that Sentry has against mere mortals. Like it doesn't equate. It's like it's for Sentry, you would need the Hulk to come punch him with full might to actually see how strong this man is. And I feel like there was an opportunity here to really, really show Sentry's power, like really, really go. And then they use this whole void idea, which in the comic books I get it. The Void is a thing that he kind of grabs his power from whenever he changes and everything like that. But I just, for me, as I'm watching the movie and I'm waiting for the big culmination, I was just disappointed that it went that way. I was like, this is an opportunity. Because I think if you remember, there was a point where what is Marie Dreyfus's character? What is Valentina. So at one point she says, call the Hulk and tell him, you know what I'm saying, like it's all go, like a kill order. She gave him a kill order or some shit. So I'm sitting here like, oh shit, we about to see the Hulk. No, we're not about to see the Hulk. That's not happening.
No, she said his name was Holt, the guy that set up the military.
Oh, that's what she was talking about, Holt?
She said call Holt, Holt.
Oh, wow. So there I go. See, that's probably why I was so disappointed. You know what I'm saying? You're calling more humans to deal with this problem. This is not a good look. But I just from that standpoint, when I for me, because I'm always disappointed with Marvel movies and the way that they depict villains. I just wanted more, man. Sentry is so powerful. Like, this is the bona fide Superman of the Marvel universe. And to put this team up against him, and all you had to do was just talk him off a ledge. Like that. It's giving me. I'm like, you mean to tell me Yelena's voice is so calming that it would make a man who's hell-bent on destroying everything stop. Nah, it's just and that's my one gripe about Marvel movies and about this movie in particular is the non-commitment to true villainry. I need that villain. I'm still waiting for that villain that comes through and has no reason. They're like, why are you doing this? Because I can. I just want that guy. Where's that guy at? Because I can. I just want to go. I'm doing it because you can't stop me. I need a bully. I need a real bully. Like,
what's up? What is it with New Jersey niggas always needing a bully? Why does everybody have to be a fucking bully? Like, why you can't just be a guy who's nice who happens to have a void that he kills people with? You know, and,
I feel not so much with Sentry, but I do feel like they do try to alphabetize a lot of their villains, like make them all
alphabet.
Yeah, like they try to make them all like make them all like wicked. Like, oh, the Wicked Witch isn't actually evil. Like, or like Thanos isn't actually. He really wants to save the world, or save the universe, but it's marred and such and such. Like, that really, all of that started because of Wicked and Elphaba, like the musical.
Oh, Michael, come on, we can't let you do that, brother. It did not start because of Wicked. Okay, let's keep it real. Like, this
I don't mean the Wicked movie. I mean, when Wicked, the book, when it first came out and it became popular.
Which was when?
And like, when did Wicked come out? In like the 90s?
Okay, because I remember a character by the name of Anakin Skywalker who was casted to us as a villain for 3 straight movies, and then we got 3 more movies where we learned that maybe he wasn't so bad. So I mean, the concept of villains not necessarily always being what they were portrayed as originally isn't an original concept. But I do want to say, first of all, Ty, if you think we're gonna let you get away with talk about Superman 4 and the fact that Sunman took his girl to the moon. he flew his girl to the moon where there's no gravity, no oxygen, no like air conditioning, and he just flew into the moon. And him and Superman were fighting on the moon while the girlfriend was standing there on their side on the moon. I'm gonna let you just bring that up. Like that made the movie fucked up. Like, even me as a child, I'm like, wait a minute. Are you gonna fly this lady into outer space, sir? No spacesuit, not even a jacket, a scarf. Can she at least get some pantyhose or some socks? She's on the moon in a pantsuit. Am I the only one who remembers that?
No, I remember. I never said it was a good movie. I said what I said was What I said was you might not remember Superman 4, but the villain in the movie was Nuclear Man.
I do remember the villain. I do remember. I was like, oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Look, down to like it's so like if you put them side by side, it is so uncanny. Nuclear Man had blonde hair.
Yeah,
deep blonde hair. It is the same exact thing with Sentry. Their colors on their actual costumes are exactly the same color. It is so uncanny. It is very. You're like, come on, man. So I get it, and I just wanted to address something in the comment section because our comment section is
maybe
the best.
Maybe Sentry was inspired by Nuclear Man.
He probably was. I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know, but because I mean, Sentry, he was created like 2000, so
it would make a lot of sense because Marvel. We know how come on, Wonder Man, Wonder Woman. I mean, come on, hey, let's not go down the whole Captain Marvel. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. All right, and how originally Captain Marvel was a DC, which makes no sense. And I know it wasn't with DC; it was with another. Anyway, go ahead, man. Go ahead, continue.
All right, so this is the comment that I wanted to address by Fernando. You said Thanos and Killmonger are the only real villains in the MCU, and I would 100%. I would 100% disagree with that, and this is why I have such a problem with Marvel. Remember, Thanos' whole reasoning for collecting the stone was so that he could basically kill off a percentage of the world so that things could be better in his eyes.
Yep.
And the same thing with Killmonger. Killmonger's whole thing was he didn't like how black people in America was being treated.
Yep.
There's these reasons that you can kind of feel. You can feel with somebody. You can be like, well, I don't know. Is he really mad? I don't want that. What I want is a clear, uncut villain. You know who we can all agree was a real villain and there was no room for, and I'll say this 100%, my number one villain of all time is who, Yaz?
Ultron! Fucking Ultron!
No, that wasn't. My all-time villain. I've said this before, so I figured you remember. But Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Is an all-time villain. This motherfucker wasn't shit, and we all hated him. There was not one person that was out here like Joffrey's not such a bad guy. No, we all hated him. When Joffrey died, we rejoiced. We celebrated. We shot fireworks. We were outside like we hadn't been outside all year. We were like, yo, that very true. Comes, yo, we was ready. We was all. So I need some of that Joffrey energy in the MCU. I need a villain that we can all agree we hate him. And there's nothing about him that we like. We hate him. And I need that. I need Marvel to stop thinking everything is a goddamn joke. Cause shit ain't funny. Shit ain't funny no more. I need a villain, a real villain that's out here killing unconditionally, unremorsefully. He's just out here just killing babies, ladies, anybody who get in their way. Look, there was a moment when that little girl was about to get crushed, and I was excited. I know. It sounds crazy. But when they start killing kids, I'm like, oh shit, we done got there. Yeah. We there. We're there. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the part. That's the one real gripe that I have about Thunderbolts, have about Marvel as a whole, is they're not willing to kill kids. I feel like as soon as you start to kill the babies, we're there. I know it sounds strange. It sounds crazy. Yeah, I think. Listen. I am going top. Listen, I'm going top tier villainy. I'm not. Listen, we're not. When you go top tier villainy, Joffrey never cared who he killed. He didn't. He didn't care. Anybody could get it. And that's when you're at top tier villainy, when there is no there is no differential between a child, a woman, or a man. You're killing everything that opposes you, period. Homelander is another one that almost is there, but then you start to see they show you these things that you're like, oh, he was made this way because they treated him so poorly. They locked him in a room, and then you start getting in your feelings. Well, anybody would be like that. I don't want that. I don't need that. I need you to hate this person to the core of your being, so that when he or she meets their demise, there is no wavering. You're like, oh, I'm so happy they killed him. Yes.
But also to be fair to that point though, which I feel you, like the Joffrey and all that other stuff, like I want that too. But also like part of me kind of gets why they don't do that, because audiences are stupid. To put it blunt. So like bringing up two examples, like you bring up Joffrey and then somebody else brought up Homelander. Look at the reaction that people give to those two characters. There's a reason that the actor that plays Joffrey, part of the reason he quit acting is because of his portrayal of Joffrey, he was getting like death threats and people saying stuff about it's like he's a fucking actor. Like Joffrey isn't real. It's a character. Or you look at people like celebrating Homelander and saying Homelander is a hero and all this other stuff. Or even like you watch You on Netflix. Part of the reason Penn Badgley didn't want to do the show anymore because people were rooting for his character, and it's like, no, this guy is a fucking villain.
Yeah.
Right. Or we're going to talk about The Last of Us later on. Like whenever spoilers for that, because I'm gonna bring this part up, but we are going to talk about it. But like when the video game came out and Abby killed Joel, the voice actors were getting death threats. So like when you get people that portray like these villains or good cat, a lot of times like people are stupid. So in some ways these movie companies like tend to hold the audience's hand because for whatever reason critical thinking skills are in the fucking toilet. Like when I review movies and talk about things all the time and concepts and all that other stuff, like how many people like I'll mention something. I can't think of an example, but I'll mention something. People are like, well, actually, that's not what I fucking said. Like, if you actually listen to what I said, you would actually know what I'm actually talking. Or pick up a book. Like, if I bring up Sinners and talk about the connection of blue. Oh, actually, perfect example. I was talking about Sinners, and I mentioned how the character of Remick, I thought it was perfectly sound that Ryan Coogler cast Remick as an Irish man. And when you think about the Irish people and black people, we had a lot of camaraderie. Like the term mulatto came about because black people and Irish people were intermingling and having sex and creating partnerships and relationships a lot. And so the child of a black person and an Irish person was called a mulatto. But then when Irish people started to delve into whiteness, they started to when they became white, because originally they weren't white. They were called white niggers or Negroes turned inside out. But so I mentioned that in my review, and somebody's like, how dare you say Irish people were never white? Irish people were always white. No, the fuck they weren't. Whiteness is a concept. And Irish, Hungarian, Polish, all of that stuff, they weren't accepted.
Italian.
Like, so like people are just dumb. Like a book would easily tell you that. So like, I feel you in terms of like wanting to get an actual villain. But like sometimes when you do get that, audiences react in a way that's like, come on, like grow the fuck
I got
up.
the solution for that. The solution,
not real.
The solution for that, black gay. The solution for that is Michael. You make them digital. Like Thanos ain't had no problems finding a job since he snapped his fingers. Josh Brolin has been just fine. But Josh
Brolin had the privilege of not actually being on.
Exactly. I was just fucking with you. Go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say this, Michael. You're right that people are dumb, but people are dumb regardless of what you do or don't do. Like that's so when you have a young lady like the girl that just did Snow White also getting death threats, and she's not a villain. She just played a character as well. There are always going to be people that dislike things and have problems with things. But if you are moving in a way that is dependent on the reaction of the audience, then we'll never get real good writing of villains. And I feel like Joffrey may have gotten death threats, but at last I checked, he's still breathing and walking around. A lot of those people that.
But now he works at Wawa, and he has no future in the world of acting, because people haven't been able to disassociate the character that he played with who he is in real life. I think that's the point Michael was making. But
no. I know the point that he's making. I'm just saying that when it comes down to your mental health, and I think that has a lot to do with why Joffrey is not working. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that people can't disassociate. The man killed that role. So as from an acting standpoint, he did his damn thing. I just think that maybe, it had such a significant effect on him mentally that maybe he's not in that space. And that's cool. That's fine. I get it. But when it comes down to it, what I'm saying is that there has to be a clear somebody in the room that says, let us go a little bit further than we did the last time. Let us, like, each time, take an inch closer to the villainry aspect, to the point where you finally get to a Galactus who is a being from another world who kills everything and destroys everything and has no problem. And then you get to villains like was his Null from the Venom series, from Venom. And who is also supposed to be evil incarnate. So
we're gonna find out Galactus was abused by his father. His mother left him as a kid.
I hope to God not.
When he was on his planet, they didn't feed him as a child, and so when he became a cosmic entity, that's why he's eating planets, because it reminds him of that he didn't get when he was a kid. That's what we're gonna get with Galactus.
For 38 cents today, you could have failed Galactus like a long time ago. But points are taken, Ty. Points are taken. But let me give my little spill. Since somebody did ask me what my thoughts were. I'm somewhere between the two of y'all. I do agree with you about Taskmaster, although I did voice my opinions before about how I thought Taskmaster was already kind of pitched. It's kind of weird, you know what I mean? Like, as a Spider-Man villain, essentially, to see Taskmaster so prominent in this new development of an Avengers thing is kind of weird. Even though I know he's not a villain, he's just a guy who can, mimic everything or whatever, or a person, excuse me, rather. Yeah. But I agree with you that moment could have been used as a catalyst, kind of the way that we were hoping that Ant-Man would have been a catalyst to launch off phase 5, with him either being stuck in the quantum zone or possibly being heavily injured, or even better, more than likely, just deceased. But yeah, as a result, you don't walk away from the movie feeling like, oh, what's going to happen next, with the exception of the fact that they had the little press conference at the end, which frankly was a little of an eye roll situation for me, because it was like, all right, the Avengers are not Marvel. Please, I know y'all had a lot of success with Avengers, but do we have to tie everything to Avengers just because of the success of Avengers? Black Panther had a lot of success too. Okay, so it's not necessary. For me, it just gives, we're going to go back to the bowl that fed us type of thing. So I'm not necessarily a huge fan, but I get it. Now, as far as the villain thing goes, I've got to say, I'm not fully on board with this. I do believe that Ty is right. It is nice to have a completely relentless villain from time to time, but that can't be the case every single time. You can't have every villain is just a world dominant, just completely hell bent on killing every baby. Everybody's not King Herod. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta kind of. I think that the diversity of the backgrounds and the origin stories of the villains is fascinating. In this particular movie, no, it was more Eternals, where the villain comes from inside the house. So yeah, I didn't, that wasn't this. But I think that what they were doing, which I think they did successfully, was make a bridge movie. This movie wasn't meant to be one that knocked you off of your seat and made you be like, holy shit. It was one that was meant to be like, I want more. That was all the purpose of this movie was for. It wasn't supposed to be a monumental, groundbreaking, award-winning movie. It was a movie that was supposed to revive the life and the appetite of those that do enjoy these type of Marvel movies, because they hit every cue, right? Humor, had the subtle jabs every now and then. You got your action sequences, you got your twists, right? So So it was everything that a Marvel. In fact, in some instances, I thought it was too funny. I mean, and I don't mean like funny as in humorous. I mean, I was like, all right, does this have to be a joke? It was like the addition of Valentina as a humorous kind of what's the old girl from the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller, like a humorless white Amanda Waller. It's not working for me. It's not working for me. I mean, I almost at some point in time am waiting for her to start dancing and do the Elaine, dance. But it's not doing this thing for me. So the movie was good. I liked it. It wasn't great. In fact, if you missed the opening of this movie, don't fret. It'll be just as good on Netflix, Disney Plus. I'm not saying, what, I don't care. Black movie. That's what you want. I don't care. But I did like the focus on Florence. I did like the focus on Red Guardian. I did like that they made sure that U.S. agent was still an asshole and that they didn't let that go. But yeah, the notion of Taskmaster being written off, even though I wasn't a fan of the way that she was depicted, I think you're right. I agree. You guys have sold me. That was a moment that could have been made into a movie, a monumental movie moment. In other words, I think that if I'm hearing y'all correctly, y'all would have preferred to have seen like Taskmaster maybe be a part of the movie, and then maybe get sucked into the void or killed in a manner that maybe begged for vengeance or for there to be some sort of consequential action taken as a result. In this particular instance, it's almost like they just didn't want to pay her for any more days on set. They was just like, yeah, Pop, we don't really need all that. You know what I mean? And yeah, I agree.
For me personally, I honestly didn't care about the Taskmaster thing. Like, because I didn't care about Taskmaster and Black Widow. Like, I didn't like not the Taskmaster character in and of itself. I like but that's not my hashtag, not my Taskmaster. But and it's not even because it's a woman, she Taskmaster or whatever, Antonia instead of Anthony. No, that has nothing to do with it. It's just the way they portrayed Taskmaster.
Right.
I didn't care. So when she got shot, but then also from a story perspective, I think them killing Taskmaster goes to show. Like, these people are not good people. Like, they're murderers, and they're willing to. Like, they were about to take each other out. Like, that's how the whole thing started. They were trying to kill each other before they actually started working together. And so, showing one of them die because they were given an order, like, not raise the stakes in terms of like the story, like, somebody else might die, but I feel like it raised the stakes in terms of like their character, like showing that they are willing to turn and potentially kill each other if given an order. And so showing them eventually work together, it kind of shows the change within them, because just 2 seconds ago you just tried to kill, or you just killed somebody else that could have been part of your team.
But we've seen all of them kill people before. Like, every single one of them has done villainry in their previous appearances. Like, every single one of them. Like, John Walker killed a man in broad daylight in the middle of the street with Captain America's shield. Like, we knew he was a villain, and the movie didn't commit to being that dangerous. Like, Ty mentioned earlier, like some little white girl, I think, they had this moment where the Void came out, started dusting people Thanos style, and then they undid it. The movie refuses to commit to like consequence at any point throughout the movie. Like, I thought the Void was going to be a big level threat. He took out like all of Manhattan. He was so powerful. So many people were getting hurt. I don't know about you, but when that little girl got dusted, I kind of cheered. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know Marvel had it in them. Like, I was like, oh, we playing now. We really like, they're really making the Void a credible threat. But then to pull all of that back, and the only person who got murked in this whole movie was Taskmaster at the beginning of the movie, and it didn't even feel like it served the story in a way that was new, to give us new information or do something different. I don't know. I didn't really believe that this was the thing that made them feel dangerous, especially because they weren't committing to danger throughout the whole movie.
You know what? Let me say this. I think I would have probably been a little bit more. The way that they dismissed Taskmaster was a little like, oh, was she a good person? Yes, she was a good person. Yes, and then bam, like that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Here's somebody who had already survived like an explosion, didn't she? Like in the whole entire Black Widow movie, like we learned about all of the stuff that Taskmaster have been through, and now she is just gone. Like, sad story, but it kind of shows she kind of sucks as a superhero too, because god dang, like anybody else had that problem. I mean, but anyway, I'll take that part back. But at the end of the day, they did what they did. I wanted to ask Michael about Sentry as a comic book, as an avid reader. Give us your thoughts on the depiction of Sentry and how it compares to the comics. And let's also not forget that this role was originally, if I'm not mistaken, thrown at old boy that plays Glenn.
It's supposed to go to Stephen Yeun, yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Yeun was originally supposed to be Sentry, and for whatever reason that was turned down. So that happened.
It was because of the strike. And so it delayed production, and he was already scheduled to do Mickey 17. And so it ran into each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if he's going to regret that, because Sentry's going to be a part of
But I'm actually glad it's not Stephen Yeun, because especially with the costume, the yellow, him being a superhero, I'm like, he's just a live action Invincible.
Yeah, but don't you want to see that though? Don't you kind of like low key? Isn't that's the parallel, right? We're like, oh shit, it's Grayson.
Me, no, I like Lewis Pullman. I liked him as Sentry. And then to answer only Morale's question, no, Sentry isn't a mutant. And it's spelled SENTRY, not like the century, but like a road, like a century. SENTRY. But as far as it's virtually pretty much, for the most part, they didn't really change anything. Him being a drug addict, getting this. The only thing they really changed is like he got his powers from like Valentina and an experimentation, and adding the Valentina angle of it, and then also changing the Void into like a mental depression thing instead of it connecting to Null, the creator of the symbiotes. That's really the only thing that they mostly changed. But other than that, it's pretty much he's mostly pretty much still the same Sentry.
Okay, so the power element, the way that he is able to void people, the way that he's able to fly,
that's what I'm saying. Like the change, the way they did the Void, like you can't send somebody into like a mental depression. Like the Void is like an entity that connects to like the dark dimension and Null and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So it has nothing to do with his like depression. It's like an entirely different, like just dark entity. So that's different. But for the most part, his origins and everything like that is virtually more or less kind of the same. So I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily have a problem with like the depiction of Sentry. Like it was.
All right. Well, what about the Thunderbolts origin story? I've read some Thunderbolts comics.
I've never read any Thunderbolts.
Okay, now I've read some Thunderbolts comics.
Thunderbolts,
and there's some. I mean, first of all, Baron Zemo is extremely prominent in the Thunderbolts organization, and also the whole concept of Yelena calling the Thunderbolts because of some team is not how. Thunderbolt Ross. They were named after Thunderbolt Ross.
They were named after Ross, but they couldn't do that because Ross is.
They could still do it. They literally just had the movie this year. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a part. It could be a. I mean, I'm not trying to say they should have done it. It's not a big deal. If you're a reader, then maybe you'll notice it. But it just felt like a weird thing to like.
I thought the thing that would have made sense is after I can't think of the actor's name, but after he unfortunately passed away, the person that played Thaddeus Ross,
William Hurt.
Okay. William Hurt. So after he passed away, I thought it would have been smarter to not recast his character, and then if they were going to do the Thunderbolts, they would have just named it in honor of him, in honor of his character. Like I thought that would have been a smart way.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's an unnecessary. I mean, when I saw that they did that, Michael, I was like, okay, what was the purpose of changing the origin story of the name, if not just to add heart to the group? Like to now,
I feel like that's
now
why they
instead
did
of it
that
being,
Thunderbolts asterisk.
yeah, the new Avengers. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, all right, we're not some group that was put together by some some dominant, government entity. It's like, no, we're named after a little league team. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, it's an unnecessary modification of source material, but it is what it is, and we are where we are. I do have to say,
let me say this real quick. Last thing that in terms of like a criticism, I wish that when they did actually go into the void, in terms of like building up these characters, because we got a lot of Yelena, we are of course we know Bucky, we got some Red Guardian, but I wish we got to see everybody's journey through the void, not just Yelena and not just Bob. Like I feel like they could have added maybe another 15 minutes, or even took away some of that elevator scene to show like, because what is Ghost been up to? What's her trauma? Granted, they do a lot of like, we know about Bucky and we've seen his story with like Winter Soldier and everything like that, but we really don't know everything that he's had to do as the Winter Soldier. And so like I feel like this movie did a lot of telling and not showing. Like even Bucky's like, yeah, I had a great past, show me. Same thing with Red Guardian. What's his trauma? Like I feel like that would have allowed us to become a little bit more closer, a lot more closer to these characters if we got to see what they have to overcome to essentially become the new Avengers, quote unquote. But like that moment that they showed up in Bob's room, just easily, that was the one moment that I like rolled my eyes. I was like, oh, that was convenient. Like they just happened to show up at the right time, but we never got to see what they had to go through to get to get there. So I wish. So that's another like big criticism of mine that I wish. Like I said, they could have just added just 15 more minutes or whatever to the movie to show that.
I have a feeling that they're listening and that you'll see a Red Guardian 6-episode short series on Disney Plus sometime.
I doubt it. They're toning down on the Disney Plus. They haven't even promoted Iron. They haven't even promoted Ironheart. That comes out in a month.
We'll talk about that. We definitely gonna talk about how they're doing Riri Williams. But let me end the Thunderbolts discussion on a high note. One thing that can't nobody deny is that fight scene where Sentry actually came, where he came down the steps, and the motherfucker, did you see all that shit he did? Like where he was just like, he was getting shot in the face and shit. He's like, and then he like took somebody and kicked him and caught him. Did you see that? He kicked him up in the air and he caught him. Nothing. Tough crowd. Like,
I spoke on this. That's why I was like, that's cool when you're doing it to like regular humans.
They're humans.
Yeah, like to do that. No, but
I see him do that against Captain Marvel.
Do it against Thor. Do it against Thor. Do it against the Hulk. My point is, Sentry is so powerful within the comic books and should be in the MCU that all of that made sense. It made sense that they look like children trying to fight a grown man. And so when I saw all of that, it wasn't that impressive. I'm like, you got to remember who the core the group is. The group is Yelena. The group is Winter Soldier. The group is Walker. U.S. Agent. The group is Ghost. These are all people that can be killed with a bullet. This is all people that are dead, just like they did with Taskmaster. So my whole thing is, when it comes to why they did Thunderbolts the way they did and why they chose to use it Little League is my same qualm with Marvel. It's more comedy focused than it is like the real elements that I want to see. Like comic books comic books have always had their comedic aspect to them, but they've also been about that killing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like most comic books, people getting fucked up in the comic. This idea that Marvel has to, and when you said, you don't agree with the fact that all villains have to be this villainry, like this extra. That's my point, brother. Is we don't where do we have the examples of what I'm talking about as opposed to the examples you're talking about? There's plenty of examples of what you're talking about. There's not any of what I'm talking about. And that's my point. You can't say they're doing it all the time when they never do it. That's my point.
Right, so in X-Men Apocalypse, one of the very worst X-Men movies that has come out. Apocalypse was hell-bent with no origin story, with no remorse on apocalyptic shit. And just because he was a badass that didn't have no feelings and didn't really, he came from Egypt and came through all these different, but it didn't make the movie no better. The villain being a villain asshole did not make him better. I'm saying a good movie because of an asshole villain does not make a good movie. You know what I'm saying? I think a complex story sometimes can pan out, but it's also nice to have that maniacal Joker-esque. I just want to see the city burn ass motherfucker. What I don't want to happen is all villains end up being monolithically just bad. I like the complexity of a kingpin who's got to deal with the cheating ass wife, but also wants to be the mayor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that shit. You know, I mean,
that wasn't the MCU, Vince. That wasn't the MCU. What you talking about? That X-Men movie?
Technically,
the X-Men movie?
No. Okay, I was talking about Daredevil.
No, you just was talking about Apocalypse.
No, when I was talking about Kingpin, we said that wasn't MCU. That came after my comments about Kingpin, and I thought you were referring to the Kingpin comments, but you was referring to the Apocalypse.
And I can't even, I can't even be talking about Kingpin because Kingpin has all of these traumatic issues as well, daddy issues, and all of the kind of stuff that makes you, it makes you feel for him. I'm talking about you
want a ruthless, bro. I know. You want.
I don't want to feel. I want to hate him. I want everybody to.
Do you feel for Kingpin now? Like he's still a villain.
Oh no, he's a villain. But do I also see moments where he's like tender and like loving? Yeah, he loves the hell out of his lady. He'll kill anybody.
That's all villains though. There's moments where the Joker is tender with Harley Quinn, but they don't stop it right after that.
Yeah, Thanos loved Lady Death. All right. Even your boy Joffrey had a thing for Sansa. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not always just
no. He didn't have no thing for Sansa.
Yeah.
See, this is my point. You're tripping. Listen. There was a reason.
He had her dad in the hall, put his head on a pike, and then brought her to
him. He didn't know how to deal with it. He Vincent Van Gogh. He tried to cut the hair off instead of bringing flowers. Yeah, he's a dumbass. He wouldn't return to the Mac.
He tormented that little girl.
Yeah, he tormented her. Yeah, you lost me.
It's like when you were in kindergarten, you hit the girl you like.
Why do you think the creepy Uncle Dude was trying to get her out of there? Because he was tormenting the fuck out of her. Not only was he, like having his way with her, he was also tormenting the fuck out of her. Like, so that's why they were trying to get her out of there because she was his plaything until he didn't want her anymore. And then when he didn't want her anymore, she was disposable, just like her daddy.
When I say Joffrey was written as the ultimate villain, there is that, like I say again, and everybody in the comments, everybody on this panel can agree or not agree. But when Joffrey died, there was a cry that was let out from the mountains of from the tip top of the mountains. The king is dead. You know what I'm saying? The king is dead. The king is dead. That and even with Ramsey, you could even add him into that because he was definitely a real piece of work. But Joffrey, like I said, like when it comes to writing villainry, even when you with like us having this conversation about you thinking that he actually had feelings for Sansa, like that's great. That's great writing. That is great writing. I just want to see somebody else take that step because I know who will do it, and it won't be Marvel, but DC. DC will do it.
Yeah,
DC will do it. I don't know who's going to be. Who they're going to?
I mean, Darkseid, right?
It could be Joker. I don't know.
I mean, they're already kind of doing it with Creature Commandos. Like Frankenstein is terrible. Frankenstein is terrible.
Yeah,
not just Frankenstein, but all the Creature Commandos virtually.
Yes.
Okay, so you know who's another like Vince? I mean, bad tie to your like ultimate villain. Okay, so have you ever seen that movie I Care a Lot on Netflix?
No.
Okay, so he's Please do yourself a favor this afternoon and go watch that movie, because the head actress in that movie is the head actress in The Wheel of Time. It's Rosamund Pike. I don't know if I said her name correctly, but I'm telling you, she is a god. Damn, I just couldn't fucking stand this bitch. And I swear, everyone who has seen that fucking movie will understand the feelings behind this, because she's a fucking villain you could absolutely love to fucking hate. Like when, I'm not gonna tell you the ending, but some shit happens and you're like, fuck yes! That's all I'm gonna say about that. But go and watch.
I feel like you just told us. I feel like she just told us what happened.
Yeah, you told. Yeah,
no, I did not. I did not. I just said some shit happens, and you're just like, fuck yes. You know what I'm saying? So just watch, watch it. Okay, full circle. It's fucking beautiful. The writing is great. She is outstanding in this movie. Like God, every time I see her, I'm like, oh God, I get that feeling of watching her in this movie, and I'm like, this fucking bitch, I swear to God, if she was around, my fucking, I'd kill this bitch. So watch this, because that is a villain you will respect and love, and she'll be on your Joffrey list, because I swear to God, I can't look at her the same way.
That's kind of how I felt with Joffrey. Like, he was such a villain. I was actually disappointed when he died. Not because he died, but I was disappointed in how he died.
Yes, the way he died.
Yeah, because I was just like, poison. I was like, that's too quick. That nigga need to suffer. Like, he need to be tortured. Wow. Cut his fingers off one by one, like one ball at a time. Like,
if he would have went out, like what you call it, your boy from The Last of Us, if he would have went out like him in Games of Thrones, like if Joffrey would have went out that way, that would have been like chef's
Wait, who are you talking about? Which one you talking about?
Joel. You talking about Joel, I think.
Joel. Okay, so remember when he was fighting the Mountain's brother? Remember he was fighting the Hound.
Yeah.
He was fighting the Mountain.
That was the Mountain.
Yeah.
He was like, dancing around and doing his thing, and he was like kicking his ass, and all of a sudden he like tripped that motherfucker, and then stuck his eyeballs, and crushed his fucking skull, and it was beautiful.
I was like, yo, it's too quick.
Pedro was all in that ass though. Remember, boy, Pedro he had the swords, boy. He was going back. He was doing all that Karate Kid shit, man.
Man. He was fucking getting it. No lie, he got fucking murdered. Like, damn. So if Joffrey would have been out that way, I would have been happier, because the poison, I do feel, I'm not gonna lie, the plot was like beautiful. Who finally, like, when we found out who killed him, but I'm just saying though. Look, he would have went out that way. I would have been like even more happy.
We've been talking for an hour. Only Morale's complaining because we ain't talking about the post-credit scene yet. I mean, I feel like I kind of talked about the post-credit scene in my original initial thoughts, where I was just like, it feels like we're just building up to a universe, and I feel like we should have did this in phase 4. Like, we should already have this new team of new Avengers, Sam Wilson setting up his Avengers. We should have like them people trying to set up a West Coast Avengers, Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel trying to set up a Young Avengers. Like, we should have all these Avengers teams already set up. So then when we go into Doomsday, it does feel like a culmination into the universe. Like, the fact that Fantastic Four is showing up, it's like, okay, we already knew that because it's the next movie. So it's like not much to really say about the post-credit scene, because like, yeah, I'm hyped, but like, I already knew the Fantastic Four were coming, and it's not a foregone conclusion to be like, oh, they're gonna end up in our universe, like, obviously,
right?
But like, I feel like this should have been a phase 4 movie, because it feels like they're still doing a lot of building when we should be toning or ramping down. Because like I said, after this movie, it's Fantastic Four, and now we're not getting another movie until Doomsday.
Well, I think the significance, I haven't been in the comments often, but I'm assuming that Only Morale is talking about the fact that we just learned about the way that they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four, which it seems
in some ways that's kind of a sport. Now we know what's going to happen at the end of Fantastic Four. Spoiler.
Yeah. It's kind of they kind of they kind of gave away a little bit. So what I took away from it was that we're not. I mean, what we know now is that this is not a reboot of 616 Fantastic Four. This is a Fantastic Four coming from another multiverse that we're going to get, and that is also explaining how we get Dr. Doom, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So that last scene, for the comic book readers and those who've been following along, was indicative of the storyline being expanded from 616 and coming from all of these other, from another Earth or whatnot. But the ship was dope. The ship was dope, right? We like the ship. Okay, no, all right, just me. I'm a space guy.
Yeah, no, the ship was cool.
I like the ship. The four on it.
I'm curious what these new Avengers are gonna be, because like, what can they do? Like, you're gonna fight somebody, like even like Yelena said, all we do is point and shoot. Like Doctor Doom is a sorcerer. Like, what do you?
Yeah. Well, I'm really.
Or even if there's a Thanos level threat, what are these? Like the new Avengers was Captain America, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Spider-Woman, Luke Cage. Yep. Like,
yeah, I'm interested to see how they can transition this, because the young Avengers has also been floated. Patriot, and
even young Avengers are more powerful than these new.
yeah. Like these are folks that can get shot. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know who's on Sam's team.
What time?
I want to know who's on Sam's team, because Sam has a team. They mentioned there's a whole nother Avengers team out there. Sam has a team. Who's on his team?
They said,
that's what I'm saying. That's my problem. Like all this stuff, like we're setting up this, and then there's a rivalry between Sam's team and Yelena and Bucky's team. But we haven't seen any of that, and we're not really. There's no time for us to really get that, because Doomsday is the next movie. So it's not like we're going to have like Captain America: Brave New World should have been him setting up his new team of Avengers.
Yeah,
that's not. Okay.
Like it seems as though, since we're not going to get the movies, that the TV series, whatever those are that are supposed to be dropping, are probably going to be the way that they bridge that.
You mean
so all of the build
series?
Yeah, because all of the build up in Daredevil is that he's also recruiting all of these superheroes, and you know what I'm saying, they're going to go against. I mean, at least that's what it looks like the build up is going to be for the next season. And then you have all of these other series. You have Ironheart coming out. You have
White Tiger.
White Tiger. You have all of. You have White Tiger. I didn't know there was
White Tiger.
Wasn't yeah? Didn't they like? Wasn't there was like some preview of like his niece taking over? Didn't I see some shit like where?
Oh, nah, I think that was fan art.
That was fan art. Okay.
Fan-made. I think that's like some fan made. I think it was like fan made. But basically what I'm saying is the series that come on Disney Plus will probably be the way that they bridge a lot of this stuff, because it does feel very jumbled and thrown together. It does fit that's why I didn't say anything about the post credit, either of them, because neither of them really meant anything. I was like, okay, all right. So yeah, we know the next movie is Fantastic Four, so it makes sense. You're connecting that. But it felt very, amateurish. It just like, come on, man. Y'all can do better than this. Like, first of all, like, keep some shit to you, close to your breast. You ain't got to show everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's better to just like let it be like a oh shit moment for everybody. Like then it's just what we thought was gonna happen, and then man. These used to be fun. These post credit scenes used to be fun. And now it's starting to get like.
I mean, for some people, they had that oh shit moment for the post credit. Like I saw somebody was like, "Oh, make sure you stay for the post credit scene. It changes everything, does it?" Like,
some people are very energetic for likes and views. I get it, but this was definitely not that. When I saw it, I was like, "See, y'all made me wait all this time for this, because you sit in there, you watch all of the credits, you're like, ooh, and then that like you get up, it's like I honestly expected the first cutscene. I don't know about you guys, but I expected that 100%. I was like, oh, here we are in a grocery store, boom, 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 whatever. It was like this is like give him his shine, because he's been begging for it the whole movie. So please give him his moment. So I was like, yeah, but. This really felt like Marvel trying to force feed us Yelena, because they fucked up with our girl Black Widow, and this is like it's really what it felt like. It felt like, oh, yo, here's Yelena. I know we fucked up with Scarlet, but she's much better. And I don't know if that's true or not, but you know what I mean. But this definitely felt like more of a Yelena movie than anything else. Like it was like, all right, we'll throw Sentry in there, we'll throw the rest of them in here, but this is really about us wanting you to really like Yelena, because we do. We want Florence Pugh to be the next Black Widow, White Widow, whatever you want to call it. but she's a widow, and that's where we're at. So.
Well, with that said, I am excited about Fantastic Four. I hope it's good. I'm still not necessarily a fan of Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, but like,
yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, we don't like dang, what was he on Stranger Things? He was what was his name again?
Eddie.
Yeah, we don't like Eddie as Johnny Storm.
That blonde wig.
Yeah, I was just about to say that it's given me like, okay, what the fuck? So you guys obviously remember seeing the movie what the fuck is it called now? I can't remember it. Fuck. I just literally had it at the top of my tongue.
What movie were you talking about? Yeah.
It's
describe it if you can't think of the name.
Fuck. Yeah, talk about it. There's like a cut scene. Okay, so the movie where the movie where Robert Downey Jr. portrays the black man. What is that movie called?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Okay, sorry. So there's a scene in Tropic Thunder where Robert Downey Jr. has on the blonde wig and he's doing the whole like the church scene, where like
yeah.
That's, I'm not gonna lie, it took me back to that. Like all I was waiting for was like the little outfit. I was like, whoa, this is not a good look. Like we should have just let that one go.
Like it's given Jessica Alba and the other Fantastic Four all over again. Like with the wig, like it just doesn't look
with the eyes.
Yeah, and the eye, like it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And then also like, forgive me, I'm about to
hold on. Let me
I'm dying.
But
man.
I'm about to say something graphic.
Oh.
But like when I think of Johnny Storm, pussy should be wet. Like panties should be dropping. Like I should be pre-coming right now, just thinking about Johnny Storm in terms of like the way he, and not to say Joseph Quinn is unattractive. He's not unattractive. When I look at him, like I'm not pre-coming right now. Like I don't get that from him. Like take your shirt off, flaming hot. Like there's a moment in the comics where like he's in Antarctica and he's wearing like flaming shorts and flaming boots and he's shirtless in Antarctica. Like I don't get that vibe from him, like that sex symbol type vibe from him as Johnny Storm.
Yo, they should have put Glenn Powell as Johnny Storm. That would have been a little bit more appealing to see. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
he's too old. He's a little too old for that. Like, so.
I mean, but I'm just saying.
But that vibe, I agree.
Yeah,
with.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yes.
So, Michael, you're saying he doesn't get you wet? Is that?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Is that what I just learned?
Yeah,
Johnny Storm.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Don't you don't get
Yo.
Where do we go from here? I don't know.
I agree with you, Michael. I agree.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's not unattractive, but yeah, he's not Chris Evans.
He's not
like
a
Lisa
sex
said.
symbol. He's not a sex symbol, and Johnny Storm is a sex symbol. Like that's what we know Johnny Storm to be. You know what I'm saying? He's the playboy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's supposed to be like just dripping. You know, like Mike's got a point. Like he was right when I saw that he was. I was like, that's Johnny Storm. Like I was like, damn, he's supposed to be like real attractive, and this is. I mean, it just wasn't hitting it for me. I don't know. For some people, yes, I agree with Michael that it wasn't hitting it. I was like, oh, okay. I thought the flame guy was supposed to be hot.
Oh my God. Yo, where was his energy when he was fighting off demons in the Upside Down?
He was kicking ass and taking names. I mean, I loved Eddie. Eddie was fucking rocking out. You know what I'm saying?
It's not Johnny Storm.
Yeah. He was killing demogorgons with his rock. Okay. He wasn't fucking flaming on. So
I see what's going on here. I see exactly what's going on. This isn't Eddie from Stranger Things is just so unattractive that he shouldn't have the role. This is, I miss Chris Evans. He was so hot and he was Lisa better.
Perfect. You can't downgrade from Chris Evans to this.
That's exactly what. So this is like it's kind of like the Tomb Raider effect a little bit, huh? Nobody saw the Tomb Raider with old girl from Deus Ex Machina, but we remember them few trash movies that Angelina, and regardless of how bad they were, we was like, that's Laura Croft. You know what I'm saying? Right? So yeah, I get it. I get it. I guess I did. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we had like if Beyonce was playing a role of Vixen, and then all of a sudden it was
Miley Cyrus,
old girl from Moesha, whatever. I don't know. And yeah, I guess I can see where y'all coming from, but yeah, I didn't. Sorry, you won't get the moisture that you were looking for, Michael. But yeah, that's Fantastic Four. Now there is another thing going on with Fantastic Four that I wanted to get your opinion on before we can move on to Last of Us and maybe a little Andor. And don't forget, I do have a quick clip from my interview with my man from Supercell, since Supercell 2 is going to be coming on the docket pretty soon. But yeah, I'm curious, Michael, because we did talk about you liking Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is about to be released, but they have another character in the Fantastic Four realm right now that we think is frankly interesting casted. Old girl, if anybody here watched the Ozarks, we now have a new Silver Surfer. And the Silver Surfer online has been getting a little bit of kickback because it's clearly not Norrin Rad. And we know how you feel about Norrin Rad because you actually shared some of these feelings with us right here on this very show. It's been a little while, but just to refresh those of you guys' memories, since last time Michael was able to grace our screen with his presence, he shared, along with myself, our love for a character named Norrin Rad and how we feel this character should be depicted. And I promise I'm not slowing down to stall as I find a video. I promise that's not what I'm doing. But here's what he said originally. Depictions of Norrin Rad, where he is clearly what I consider a black man.
Silver Surfer's a nigga. Like he's a runaway slave. About his origin, that thing about how escaping like he's a runaway slave. He might not know racism on Zen-La, but you come into Earth as a silver, you're gonna be treated like a nigga when you get there. I mean, even looking like Martian Manhunter, he's green. But he came to Earth and he's like, nah, I identify with these folks over here. Just like Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z is black, Silver Surfer is 100% black. So they better cast a black man if they finally introduce him in the MCU.
Well, they did not, Mr. Michael Lamar. They casted this young lady as Silver Surfer. And I know that that's not Norrin Rad. It's somebody else. But what are your thoughts on this casting of the Silver Surfer for the Fantastic Four movie, my friend? What say you?
I mean, a lot of people are upset because they, cast a woman as the female version of Silver Surfer, and a lot of it is like you got the typical people that like no matter what, and even if you cast a comically accurate woman, people still gonna be mad. Like look at all the people upset and bashing Brie Larson over being Captain Marvel. Yeah. There are those people, but also at the same time though, like I'm of two mindsets of it. I'm like, okay, whatever, they cast a woman, all right, fine, it is what it is. But like part of me also is like, but I don't like being that we never had a live action version of the actually we have but in the MCU. This is our first time in the MCU of us getting the Silver Surfer. Part of me is like, but why though? Like, why do this? But also at the same time, I don't really have that big of an issue with it because it is an Elseworld. It is literally taking place in another universe. So that's not to say that once they come into this universe, there won't be a Norrin Rad. It's just in this particular universe, it's, I guess, Shia LaBeouf. So
okay. I didn't think of it that way. That is a great point. That talks me off the ledge because I was feeling some kind of way. And again, to repeat what you said, it's not because she's being casted as a woman. That's not it. It's just because I want the Norrin Rad story. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel cheated from it. I feel we haven't had a chance to really experience Zen-La. We didn't get to see the relationship with him and Shia LaBeouf. We don't really know about him and Galactus and how Galactus had him all sewed up. Didn't let him go nowhere and made him feel like you had to serve me in order to keep Zen-La safe. Like we didn't go there. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I'm feeling some sort of way about this. And also remember, Lawrence Fishburne, like we said in the quote, was the voice of Silver Surfer in the original Fantastic Four. What also does it say that we're now working on another Fantastic Four movie in which Silver Surfer is prominent? I mean, that happened already, did it not? I mean, what are we doing? Like, why are we recycling so many ideas? Is this I don't know. Let me just step off my high horse here. Anthony, do you have any feelings on this at all, man? I know you read the comics as well. Are you a Norin Rad fan? Do you have any feelings about Silver Surfer? Does this have any impact on you and your feelings about the upcoming Fantastic? I know you haven't really been messing with Marvel too tough in the recent days anyway, but what any opinion on this, bro? Uh-oh.
I got complicated feelings. Because on one hand, I wasn't never checking for the Fantastic Four in the first place, right? I never really liked their comics. Their cartoon was cool as a kid. Anytime they came out with a movie, the movies didn't really do anything to make me a stronger fan. I know that Marvel liked the Fantastic Four. They kept bringing the book back from the verge of cancellation with, I don't know why. But I never really checked for the Fantastic Four. But seeing, just piggybacking on what Michael was saying, I'm the same way. It's like, this is a different universe. Marvel has already strayed away from being comic accurate a long time ago, right? They already played us with the Reed Richards. We got a Chilean Reed Richards now. They already have showed us that they're going to diverge off of what we know when they bring stuff to the MCU. And I understand a little bit of the pushback, because there'd be times where I think about how, you got to think about how popular a character has to be to get adapted into anything, right? Like, you can't just be surface level popular. You have to be so popular that you build up such a big fan base for the producers to even notice you. So I feel like for all those people that invested in Norin Rad, I would be disappointed too, because they're the ones that helped make him popular enough for this to even be adapted.
Yes. Yeah, man. That's the part. It's like, and of course, the beef was that Norin Rad is of darker hue in the comics, in some of the comics, and in the animated series. So to see him kind of stepped over, but Michael gives me hope because he's right. If we're coming from,
I don't know, might not.
If we're coming from another Earth, there might be some potential to still preserve the legacy of Norin Rad. And again, it's not just, and even though I thought this was Shalabao, but evidently it might not even be Shalabao, which is like, well, damn, who is this bitch? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? But as long as we still get a decent story, then I won't be too angry about it. One thing that's definitely a decent story nowadays is, for those who are watching Last of Us, it's been a roller coaster. And again, some of us played the game, some of us didn't. I do believe that those of us that played the game are at an advantage because we are already familiar with the atrocities that lie ahead in this apocalyptic realm. But not much to say about this most recent episode. I figured we could touch on it a little bit before we move on, and maybe a little bit of Andor, and then maybe a couple other things. But this most recent episode, I will say, we did finally start to see Ellie leave the plantation, so to speak. I ain't gonna call it a plantation. Leave the city. All right. And I think this was the definition of a filler episode to an extent. Am I tripping? It was literally filler. There was like no action. There was nothing. We learned stuff we didn't need to learn. All right. They're bringing character arcs in that are good for good writing, but are not necessarily moving the story forward that much. Like, for instance, when old boy the bigot came to the defense of Ellie, we're like, oh, okay, that's cool, but it really has. Other than a good feeling in the heart, it doesn't move the story forward, right? What? Anybody have any opinion about this most recent episode of Last of Us? If not, we'll move right ahead because shit, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Your expectation for them to just move the story like Joel didn't just get grizzly fucked in the last episode. That's crazy. This was the type of episode that you expected it to be. You expected everybody to be on this emotional roller coaster of feelings and they lost. Like, you don't just get over loss. Like, Joel was an intricate part of this show, and he's leaving behind a brother, a fake daughter, You know what I'm saying? Like in a town full of people who have grown to love and depend on him. So, you know, you expected this episode to be exactly what it is. What is Ellie? Everybody was like, I know, like everybody's expectation is, what is Ellie gonna do? Like, we know that she's, you know, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, we know that she is about to go ham. Like, it's not a question. It's just of when and where and how. And I think that was kind of what was established in this episode. You know, one of the biggest things that I took away from this episode was the comments of the therapist when she was talking to Tommy. When she was talking to Tommy, she said, "Yo, some people you just can't help. You just can't save. They're just like they are who they are." And she says that Ellie is a liar and like a firecracker. Like she's like that. She's like this. You know, people lie. No. She's a liar. Nah, she's not lying. She's a liar. Like, and there's a lot of like, this lady seems to be the guru in the town of, you know, when it comes to stuff and people trying to get over on her. She told Joel straight to his face, "You keeping something from me, and I know you bring me this trash ass bag of weed, and then you gonna lie to me. Then you gonna sit here and just lie to my face like I'm stupid. You know, it was bad enough that you brought me this trash weed and you killed my husband. So like, there's a lot of shit going on. Like, but I like her character because she's the one person that's gonna keep it real in a world of people living, you know, in nightmares and dreams. So you know, this is I think I love her character actually. I think she's dope. But this episode was exactly what I expected it to be. I expected it to be, you know, everybody kind of getting, you know, their town just got attacked and almost destroyed. You know, a large portion of their community is either in critical condition or in like a real bad state. They showed the hospital situation. So, you know, they're all, you know, disoriented right now. So I didn't expect this episode to be nothing but what it was. And I think the biggest takeaway, like I said, was the fact that we know that Ellie is a psychopath. She's a fucking psychopath at this point. And we also know that she has no problem getting everybody killed. So after seeing the end of the episode, oh yeah.
I mean, all right.
What do you mean?
She wanted to go into that building, but I don't know if she wants to get everybody killed. Like,
no. She absolutely has. She's no. See, this is what you're not. You're looking at the surface. I'll take you a little deeper. What I'm saying is we are in an apocalyptic era where there are creatures out here that can kill us at any given time. And now we know that they're moving in a strategic way that they never ever moved before. So what does she do? She takes and decides to go take old girl and go after the wolves by herself. What wolves? I mean, it's wolves when it's multiple. But anyway, yeah. So she's going after the wolves. She's going after them, and she has no indication of how many there are, what type of weaponry they have, or any of that. So by default, she's getting everybody killed because Tommy is her uncle by default. So if she doesn't come back, what does that mean? That means they have to go after her. So when they go after her, what does that mean? They run into this large army or force that could easily wipe them out. They got tanks. They rolling around in freaking tanks, bruh. Like, this is not, they ain't playing. They ain't playing. And it's a lot of them. So yeah, I know what I'm talking about when I say she'll get everybody killed. But she ain't the only one. But she ain't the only one that felt that way. She's not the only one that felt that way. So how is it that because she's what? You're not hearing me, brother. I hear you. It don't matter about how they feel. I'm talking about who made moves. I'm talking about the same ones that
ain't do nothing.
What's stopping them from doing it again, Ty? What's stopping them from coming back to the town, taking somebody else, killing them, and leaving again?
They came there strictly for revenge.
They do what they came to do.
They didn't have a meeting with everybody. Say, yo, look, yo, we good. We just had to come kill this one motherfucker. We promise we ain't coming back. We Gucci. They don't know. They have no idea that they just came. They came, put old girl to sleep involuntarily, sat there and made the dude's daughter watch him die. And they're just supposed to be like, yeah, well, you know, Joel did some fucked up shit anyway, so let's just let it go.
They could put 2 and 2 together, right? Because they only killed Joel, right? They didn't kill Dina. They had Dina hemmed up. They could have hurt her, but they just killed Eliana. Yeah, and she was awake for some of it to the point where she knew everybody's name. She knew what patch they had. She's an incredible artist, and she showed it off. Like, she saw enough to get enough information that if they were going to do something before Ellie got healed, they would have, right? Like, I totally agree with Bad Tie that Ellie is a psychopath, and she's doing dangerous things. She sits here and tries to tell Tommy about his own brother. Like, oh, if it was you, Joel would have been halfway to Seattle. And then he had to correct her and let her know, like, listen, Joel ain't as crazy as you. Joel would have only did that to save someone. If there was people who were already done, he would have sat here and thought about the greater good and stop trying to tell me about my brother, bitch. I mean...
Oh, yo!
Word. Thank you, man.
Yo, Michael, help me out, man. Like you with me, right? Like they can't just let somebody.
Nobody's with you.
Come on, man.
Like, by yourself, bro.
You Ellie right now.
From the moment you started, I was against you because you're like, oh, this episode was filler. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Like people be throwing that term around.
Let me tell you what, there's no zombies. There's no infected. There was no action. There was no anything. And
not
I think
everything has to be action.
I feel like in this particular instance, they didn't really move forward because all right. You know what I've learned because
they did move forward in the sense of like seeing Ellie in the closet, like mourning and crying over Joe. Like you needed that, especially as an audience member, and then as Ellie is the character, because that also goes to show she is a psycho, but she's still also a kid and still has a heart. So like seeing her break down in that moment over basically her father. Because we don't really know anything about her. We saw the flashback scene of her mother, but she's never met her mother. So Joel is really the only person that she has that's really a family member to her. So like seeing her break down in that moment, and then also even like seeing like the town and the voting, like getting to see the intricacies of that, the conversation that she had with Tommy, the conversation that she had with Dina, the conversation that they had in the tent, like all of that does further build these characters, because really for the most part from here on out, if they go the route of the video game, it is pretty much action, you know, from here on out. So like having another episode of like a quiet moment before the shit really hits the fan, because we saw when all those fucking wolves were walking with the tanks and all that, you're just like, shit, like it's about to go down. So like,
okay,
this episode was neat. Yeah, she cries at the end with the cemetery and the end of the video game, but what, she can only cry one time? Like,
this episode did a lot to move her. Like she didn't end, the episode didn't end where she started. She started in town crying in a hospital bed, and she ended in Seattle. Like she moved. And what I really liked about this episode is because it's starting to set the foundation of this beef between her and Abby, because she is literally a mirror of Abby. And I want to address what Only Morale is saying in the comments, because this is pivotal, because this is what's going to be the motivation for the rest of the series moving forward. Abby did to Ellie what Joel did to Abby. Her dad got killed, and now she's going on a revenge. What are you talking about? You can apply that to either one of them. And now we're going to see them go head to head. And I think we needed to see this emotional foundation from Ellie, especially because it's been so long since season 1, to help propel us through the rest of the season. Like this is what's, we're going to think back to these moments with Abby and Ellie as we go further along.
And when you think about like what ends up happening, like I'm not gonna go full spoilers, but like for those of you that played the game, like the whole concept, even go what you said, like this whole storyline is like an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So like literally y'all are doing the same shit, and ultimately, what is it gonna accomplish? What is it gonna accomplish? Nothing.
And see, I haven't even finished playing the video game yet. I started playing the video game after watching the series, and you know I'm still early, kind of in the process of playing it. But I mean, you don't even need a video game to kind of assess what's going to happen at this point. Like you everything it points in the direction and has pointed in the direction, which I see why the writers would show those moments with Ellie, because Ellie would be one of those people that you would hate too. If you didn't show those moments where she's emotional and where she breaks down and where she's able to, operate as what some would consider normal behavior, then she would also be a Joffrey type, hate. People
Whoa!
I'm serious.
Ellie?
Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bro, like, come on now. What's up with you? Like, yo, like
you're comparing Ellie to Joffrey?
I'm saying to you that she is a pariah. She is a problem. She is something that will cause everybody to die. Like, and it's so crazy because the duality of it is that she is the one person who could save everyone. Like, literally, she could save everyone. Or flip side, she could be the reason everybody dies. And that's kind of where we're at with Ellie, and it's and where I've always been with Ellie. You heard me just a week ago talking about how much I hate Ellie. And then here we are, her, you have to feel for her in that moment because she just watched the guy that she treated like, because you got to delve into it, like the real emotion that's coming out of her. This is not so much sadness as it is regret. Like, you got to understand her emotional like state. This girl is crying not because she felt like she like she lost Joel, but she's crying because she knows she wronged him and never will have a chance to apologize for it. She even said that. So it's one of those things.
Saw Joel, she just kept walking.
Exactly. So when you think of it from that standpoint, and you know what's driving her, like one who has an emotional capacity would look at that and be like, I understand why she has to go and avenge him. But the one lady who sees through all of the mask that people put up, my weed lady, she is like, nah, this girl is, some people, you just gotta realize they're the bad apple that'll spoil the bunch. And you got to take that bad apple and remove it before the whole bunch spoils. And that's why I said what I said. Her actions, these actions of going and finding the wolves, is putting everybody in the town at jeopardy, which is why the town voted against going. There is really a lot of shit that's going to come out of this. And I don't need to play a video game to see it. I already see it. I see it unfolding right before my eyes when I see the wolves in large numbers with tanks, with guns, with military training. And I'm like, ooh, this is not, and they killing kids. They are killing people. They just massacre people in the woods. At least that's what we're made to think. I don't know if they did or not, but I'm made to think that. So if that's the case and they out here killing kids, and what you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that?
That's one thing I don't like. I don't like that they introduced the sound fights this early. Like,
what?
That's more of an Abby storyline, and we're not really getting into that until season 3.
Maybe.
Wait a minute.
Because they already said that so Last of Us, they said it's going to do a season 2 and a season 3. So if you played the games, season 2 is going to be the first half of the game, and season 3 is going to be the second half of the game. So the first half of the game is Ellie, the second half is following Abby, and the Seraphites really have to do an Abby storyline. So I'm like, why are we introducing them right now? Like, we're not in this part.
Can I? Oh, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say I wanted to address this because Linda just posted. She said, we just supposed to let bygones be bygones. The wolves are monsters. This is where you have to think. And this is why, again, I feel like Ellie is such a bit. She's just gonna get everybody killed. It's not we should let bygones be bygones. We have to recoup and recover. We just lost most of our community to a monster, overriding monsters overriding our walls. We still have to rebuild our town. We have to make sure people get healthy. We have to be in a position to go to war. War is easy to start, but it's hard to finish. And that's the whole thing. If you go into it unprepared, then they're going to wipe you out. They're going to literally wipe us out. And that was the whole thing. We don't know enough to just make a rash decision. There's too many people in this town for us to worry about to just take those unnecessary risks. And that's what I'm saying. It's never let bygones be bygones. And that's what Tommy was saying. It's not let bygones be bygones. It's let us get ourselves. We are not in a position. They wanted to send 16 people, and the town said no because that would be too much of a loss. You saw the wolves; they were well over 16 people. So if you're saying if they would have went out there and did it, they would have just got killed, and then they would have went back and tried to find where they came from and kill the rest of them. That's what I'm talking about. You got to think this through, and Ellie never thinks things through. She's the most impulsive person I've ever seen, and impulsivity in a post-apocalyptic world with monsters in it is the most dangerous thing you can be, and that's why Ellie is Ellie.
I like that, but I do want to just bring in the fact that Ellie wasn't just mad at Joel for no reason, right? Like, she wasn't just like, yo, fuck this dude. Like, she knew that Joel was being dishonest and she didn't know why. I mean, obviously from situational irony, we know why. But all she knows is that the dude that she trusts the most is lying to her outright and refuses to be open with her about it. And they're supposed to be ride or die, you and me, to the end of the earth. And you are lying to me. And he's upset about it, and he will do everything but tell me the truth, and we know why. So before you tell me, oh well, obviously he was, yeah, we know, and he was doing the right thing, because if he tells her, who knows how the fuck she gonna react? But that was why. And so she wasn't just being an asshole to him. She was upset because she was dealing with somebody who she thought was one way and she learned was a different way. That very last scene in the first season where she says, just tell me the truth. Just swear to me that you telling me the truth. And she looked him in his eye and knew he was lying. He changed in her mind at that point. She was like, I don't know this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Who is this dude? You know what I mean? And so I got to move a certain way. So yes, you're right. Remorse because she didn't give him the grace that she probably couldn't have. But don't try to act like she was just an asshole and a bitch to him for no reason whatsoever. Like, as far as she knows, she was about to be the savior in 1 minute. And next thing you know, she's being dragged away and has no idea why. And the only guy who does know refuses to tell her. So just throwing that in there real quick. But I will say this. Somebody, I saw a comment. I don't know who said this. Somebody said something about how Abby was depicted. Yeah, somebody, first, Abby ain't nothing to F with. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I was waiting to see how they did Abby in this, because Abby comes back a lot stronger when she actually when she did her thing with Joel. In fact, some would say maybe even a little too strong. I don't think too strong is the thing. But what we ain't gonna see is Abby looking like this in the actual real live action Max version for whatever reason. And I don't know why that is. I mean, because when you're playing the game and they do that time jump, you jump forward and then, what I'm saying, Abby comes up like this. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Where's Rachel? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Type shit. So I was like, all right, man, I hope we get to see that in the game, but we're not going to. So, man, we'll see what happens if she's on her regiment, if she got the creatine, got some of that jerks.
And I guess that just goes to show the difficulty sometimes in translating like a video game to live action, because yeah, you could probably find someone that looks like Abby, but can they act?
Right. That part. And that's something that goes across a lot of spectrums too. Like, you can say that about, some of the Black Panther, some of the Wiccan stuff and all that other stuff. But who knows? I just can't wait to see whether or not they're going to give us this character or not. I doubt it anyway. Well, it is what it is. Well, guys, we only got a few more minutes before we go. I did want to throw this out there real quick before we kind of end on what is happening with Andor. because Andor is out. You're a fan, right? You looking forward to May the 4th, Mr. Michael?
Oh, I don't watch Andor.
You just fucked up his segue.
I know. I see.
Why is that?
I tried to watch it. I watched like the first 3 episodes. Every time I watch it, I fall asleep.
Oh my god! We heard that before.
That's happening to me a lot.
Episode 3,
I kept
right?
crying multiple times. Every single time, I keep falling asleep.
What medicine do you take before you
fuck it at this point? But I've seen basically everything else Star Wars.
What is going on, Yaz? What is happening?
I'm perplexed right now because Andor is like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I keep watching and I'm still like, do you know what the fuck is going on? Because I get, you know what I'm saying? Like the pieces of, Cassian and, Biggs and, the group, they landed, on certain planets and now, shit happened. They had to leave. They went other places now. Now they're on Gorman and the spiders and they're trying to take over the planet. And apparently this planet is like got, all the juice and the harvest and stuff. And we want to steal all the resources.
There's Jews on this planet?
Yeah, they're taking them because of their webs. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
Jews have webs?
Spiders, the spiders, the damn spiders.
Okay. I thought you said something like about. I don't know. I'm hearing stuff.
Andor's just like, I don't know. It's like we're following Cyril and this relationship he has with that one woman that's in like in the Imperial and she's just.
I love it.
It's and then Biggs is like going through this whole like. She's traumatized. She got PTSD from, shit that's been happening and stuff. And, she's got stuff going on. And then, oh shit, Saw Gerrera pops up and, he's like, hey, I need your help. But then you can't fucking leave. You're my hostage now. So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Andor's, I get the feelings of Andor right now because it's not like it was in season 1. You know what I mean? And right now I'm like, I don't know how I feel. Mon Mothra is like going through shit because her daughter just got married, but she's like, hey, I can like get you out of this marriage if you want to. And she's like, Mom, stop being a bitch. I'm grown. Go drink or something. Okay. Like, do you, Mom?
Yo, did you see the EDC event?
Yes, I was like, this looks like a time right here. Yeah. I was like, if Bad Tie and if the 3 of us were there, like, that'd be a whole
bro, that's EDC Orlando all day, man. She was I gotta get through this. And she was she was on about 3 or 4 beans, a line. Yeah, she was having a good time. But I agree with you, Yaz. This season has not been given what last season gave. Don't get me wrong. I'm still into it. I still think that their world building is phenomenal. I still think that for the intricate intellectual fan, that this will scratch the itch for your Star Wars cravings. But I will admit, yes, it is extremely complex. Like you like. It's almost like you have to watch each episode twice just to know what the hell's going on.
Literally.
So it has lost its level of simplicity. And dare I say, with that, you will lose a Star Wars fan like Michael. You know what I'm saying? Which sucks because he's like, this dude is a whole Jedi himself. So Star Wars, we'll talk about you a little bit more next week, I'm assuming. I do want to start getting rid because we didn't get, Michael saw Sinners and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'm assuming that because he is a fan of Black superheroes like we are, that he probably saw Supercell as well. And I had the pleasure of getting a moment to speak with one of the cast members of the Supercell cast, as you just heard there for a second. And I figured I'd get to share maybe just a little bit of our interview, just a preview when I actually dropped this whole thing. So this here is a gentleman by the name of Travis J. He was in Supercell, for those of you all remember. And he, is it showing? It's not showing. Okay, and so I had an opportunity to speak with him briefly because I actually know him as a comedian as well. So here's just a quick clip of what we discussed, and let's maybe talk about it on the other side right quick. Let's check it out. Have an integral role in the Supercell show. Excuse me, but they ain't give you no powers, bro. What's up, man? Who do we need to walk? Who do we need to write? Who do we got to protest against? Who is it that we need to establish a relationship with? Whose inbox do we need to flood the gates of to see that my man Trav can get some powers? We want you to get the same sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else.
Listen, tell Ratman. Tell Ratman. If that dude gives me powers, I promise you won't regret it.
You think I'm playing? All right, Ratman, I'm gonna be in this inbox. All right, so yeah, but did that make you feel any kind of way, or you just was happy about? I mean, obviously, I know you don't. You're not like, yo, what the fuck? But you're just kind of like, it would have been nice to have powers, right? Trav would have been nice.
Listen, you know what? It's when I saw like some other characters having powers that weren't like staying in the show. I was like, yo, you could have given me. Yeah. You could have given me. Let me give it. You know what I mean? Let me smoke weed or something. Let me activate off my weed.
I love that. I love the weed activation. You know, this is dope. That is so dope, man.
Activate.
So we got into a lot of that. We talked about how he got the role, how he was like a little timid before he got it, but then the second audition, he was cocky. You know what I'm saying? It was like, no, it's mine, bro. I got this, bro. I got this. You know what I'm saying? And like the whole notion of how Ratman and him met a long time before, but how you never know who's going to be what, because a long time ago when they met, so many years back, he was like, yo, you and me should work together. He was like, all right. And sure enough, years later, guess who shows up and is able to put him in a movie and actually succumb to his promise. So dope as hell. Definitely want to give my man Travis J his props and his flowers for going from touring with Dave Chappelle in the UK to coming out to London to LA to get his American tour on, but at the same time becoming a prominent member of the Supercell cast. So shout out to my dog Travis J. We'll be posting this full interview sometime in the next few days or weeks once I get it all edited up and everything like that. But we're going to go ahead and start wrapping.
And if you haven't watched Supercell on Netflix, go watch it. The series is still up. It is available for your viewing pleasure. It is a
only 6 episodes.
Brilliant concept. And we all are waiting for season 2 of Supercell. So excited for that.
Indeed. Yeah, man. Supercell was really dope. The notion that there's like he said in the interview, to take sickle cell growth and to make it into so I can't do the English accent joint, but he basically was really he was talking about that a lot. So on the way out, man, I did want to hear at least a quick revelation from Michael, because I saw that you were not happy about and we only got like 60 seconds here. So really quick, can you tell our audience why it's unfair what's being done to Riri Williams and how the promotion is so short with respect to that character, but was everywhere for Agatha?
It's not even short. It's like non-existent. Like the last. So for those of you that don't know, Ironheart, Riri Williams, same person we saw Wakanda Forever, played by Dominique Thorne, is getting her own show. They announced it a while ago, and strikes, whatever. It took a while for it to come out, but it is officially releasing on June 24th, which is next month. And there hasn't been a single trailer, billboard, poster, nothing with regards to this movie. Can't figure out why, because again, it's dropping in a month from now. But like you think about other shows like Secret Invasion, Agatha all along, like everybody knew that damn song before episode 1 even came out. Daredevil, like right now there are 3 things that are coming out with Marvel: Thunderbolts, which is currently out in theaters, then Ironheart and Fantastic Four. One of these things is not getting any promo. Guess which one it is? The Black Show. And you would think with Ryan Coogler being the executive producer and the fanfare and praise that he's currently getting in theaters with Sinners, you would think they would be leaning heavily on from the executive producer by the creator of Sinners and Wakanda Forever and Black Panther. Like they'd be leaning into that. And the fact that the movie or the show is show ran by 2 Black women. Wow. Something that doesn't happen often. Like, why? What are we doing here? Somebody was like, oh, well, maybe it sucks, and that's why they don't want to promote. Secret Invasion was fucking garbage, and yet they still promoted the hell out of that.
Yo, look,
So, like-
let's let that be that's the final Thanos snap right there. Let that rest on your laurels as you guys are getting ready for the release of Ironheart. How we haven't been seeing it, and you would see things that they want to be promoted and watch them come out and be like, "Oh, we ain't giving it a season 2 because it didn't
nobody
get
watched
views."
it." But it's like y'all ain't
why.
promoted, and I'm not saying it's gonna be good. It might not be good.
But still, at least give it a promotional thing.
Past this so long, most of the Disney Plus shows have disappointed me by the end.
Yeah,
but y'all still put money into this show, and you should still promote it and at least give it a chance because it also might be good, or it could just be okay. And if it's okay, that's okay.
All right, man. And what's not okay is Michael Lamar. Is Michael, my dog Michael. I don't know why, but we gotta hurry up and finish listening to GB. Y'all to the except you being fake, and if you not being so, go ahead, make that Geek Fly.